How are you? Seja bem-vindo. Be welcome to our Portuguese live class where I will teach you how to conjugate the imperative mood, the imperative tense in Portuguese. Let me just check if we are live here on YouTube, if it is working.
Hey, how are you?
Yes, it's working. So, be welcome. Today I will teach you how to conjugate those verbs, all verbs in the imperative tense in Brazilian Portuguese. First thing, if you are watching here in live or the recorded class, let me tell you one thing that is very important. I have recorded a class teaching when we have to use this tense. Okay, so go to our channel and watch this class with this thumbnail that I'm showing you, and you will learn when to use it, which case, questions, orders. Today class I will just teach you how to make the conjugations of the verb. And here I'm sharing my screen, but I will write different verbs and it will be very practical class, okay? So let's start it. First thing that I always have to tell you, in Portuguese we have verbs that are divided in three classes. That's the verbs that ends in ar, falar, andar, amar. The verbs that ends in er, beber, escrever, to write, responder, to answer, and also the verbs that ends in ir. Here we have abrir, but assistir, curtir. So the verbs are all the verbs are ends in ar, er, or ir. Okay. So to conjugate the verbs, we have to separate it. First thing, the verbs that ends in ar. What is the idea? In this tense, in the imperative, we just have three conjugations. Yes, three conjugations. Why just three? Because he, she, and you, ele, ela, você, it's one. Nós means we, and they, eles or vocês. But you can ask me, and where is the pronoun me? I, teacher. We don't use it in this tense our pronoun I, because generally talking about this tense we just make order. We cannot make our orders to ourselves. Hey, I do it, for example. Doesn't make sense in Portuguese. So we use this tense to make orders, to make recommendations, suggestions. This is the idea of this tense. So we don't use it for our pronoun me. And generally we use it for you and also the plural, you guys, você and vocês. But also we can use it for he and she. First idea, for the pronouns ele, ela, você, he, she and you, what is the idea? We have to cut the final R, the two letters, and add the letter E. Pay attention. Falar, você fale. It's like, hey, fale português. It's an order. Fale, because if you make the conjugation of the indicative, that would be fala. Você fala português. You speak Portuguese. But here you are making an order. Hey, speak Portuguese during the class. Fale português durante a aula. It's an order, a recommendation, a suggestion. It depends on your intonation. And he and she is always the same conjugation. Ele fale, ela fale. Another, let me use a different verb. Amar. Amar is to love. We don't say to somebody, hey, love that person. Andar, to walk. Ande, let me write here for you, see how it's not difficult. 1 second, I will do it. 1 second. I will write the conjugations here for you. See that it's not difficult. Let me see if I'm sharing. Yes. So another verb here. I was saying andar. Andar would be ande. I'm not writing. What's happening here? Ande. We just cut R and we added this vowel. I. Que você ande mais. Hey, walk more would be a order, a recommendation. Ande. Você ande, ela ande, ele ande. It's the same idea. Let me go to the next pronoun. That would be nós. Nós is we. We have to add this emos at the end of the verb. And of course cut the R. Falar, que nós falemos. Let me write here for you see the difference. Falar, we cut this R and we add emos. Falar, falemos. Amar, amemos. Nadar, here's to swim. Nadar, nademos. Easy? Easy, yeah? Let me know if it's easy or not. And the third conjugation that you have to do in this tense is the plural. They, eles, vocês. We have to change the R for a M. For example, verbo falar. We cut this R and add M. Falar, falem. Vocês falem português. Eles amem elas. For example, eles nadem, eh? Or vocês nadem, okay? Easy, we just cut this R and we put this M. Falar, falem. But here is for all verbs. For example, amar, we just are changing R for M here. Amem, amar, vocês amem, eles amem. Easy or not? Let me know. We saw the first kind of verbs that ends in R. Now the verbs that ends in er and ear. Let me. Here it's appearing. What is the idea? It's the same standard. Yes, I'm telling you, Portuguese is not difficult. Who said Portuguese was difficult? Pay attention to this tense. We don't make a conjugation for the first pronoun, eu. It's you. It's three conjugations. And the two kinds of verbs are the same idea, follow the same standard. Portuguese is easy. So, what is the idea? Coming back to the pronouns, remember, we don't make conjugations for me, I. So we go to the conjugation of the verbs that ends the pronouns ele, ela, and você, you, he, and she. And what we have to do? We have to cut this final of the verb, or beber, ir, abrir, and add the letter a. Like here, beber, beba. But what is doing here? We are just cutting this ear and adding a at the end. Beba. Let's see. I will write a new verb here for you see. Beber, responder, to answer. So would it be responda, the conjugation. Hey, responda a professora. Hey, answer the teacher. For example, we are just cutting the final ER and adding a. Hey, responda. But we use for you, he and she. Você responda. Hey, ele responda. Ela responda. In this tense, to make an order, a suggestion. Here the verbs that ends in ear. You will see the same idea. We are cutting this ear and add a. Abrir, abra. Abra a janela. Open the window. Ele abra. Yes, and it's all verbs. For example, assistir, to watch. We cut this ear and add a. So, assista. Assista filmes em português. Watch movies in Portuguese. Is an order. If you want to improve your Portuguese, do this. And the pronoun nós and the conjugation is very simple also. Why, teacher? Because what is the idea? We have to, here the verb is abrir. we cut again this ear and we add this amos. Abramos, que nós abramos. Ei, abramos a janela. Ó, assistir, we are cutting ear and adding amos. Same idea. Assistamos, dirigir, dirijamos, for example. And it's the same idea for the here I skipped one slide. For the verbs that ends in er. Bebamos, ó, pay attention to the verb. Beber, we cut the two last letters, er, and we add ae. Bebamos. And it's the same idea here. Escrever, escrevamos, for example. Easy or not? Let me know. Let me know if it is easy. And we have the last pronoun, that is they, eles and vocês. Same idea. We have to, from the verb in the infinitive, we have to cut this er and just add an. For example, beber, que eles bebam, or vocês bebam. Hey guys, you drink this. Hey guys, drink it. For example, it's an order, a suggestion. Escrevam. Pay attention how responder. Let me use this verb just for you see. Responder is the verb in the infinitive. We cut er and we add am. Respondam, hey. Respondam a mãe. Answer your mother. And the verbs that ends in er, same idea. If you see here, abrir, we are cutting this ear and add a. Abram, assistam. Easy or not? Remember, those regular verbs, it works. Not for all verbs, because we have some exceptions in Portuguese, of course. But any regular verb, you can use the same standard. Okay, so coming back, let me give a zoom here on my screen. Coming back to this class, and my suggestion for you, and giving a suggestion, I can use this tense. Faça isso, do it, for example. Do a revision and try to first watch this first class about when to use this tense, and do a revision and write verbs like examples. Andar, to walk. Você anda, ele ande e mais. Ela ande, nós andemos. And write the conjugations, because it's the best way for you learn how to conjugate verbs in any tense is taking a piece of paper and a pen and writing the conjugations. Okay, it's the best way for you learning the conjugations and how to and also for you learning the standards of the conjugation. So any verb that you learn, you will be able to make the conjugation easily because you have practiced it before. And to finish here, remember, every week we are having a live class here on our channel. If you have any questions, give me a comment here on the comments. Like, hey, what about the irregular verbs? For example, what are the most common irregular verbs? I can teach you. I will record a live class. If you have any questions, feel free to put it here on the comments. It will be a pleasure record a live class for try to help you. And remember, subscribe on our channel because every week we are having some live classes and we really want to improve your Portuguese. And remember, also we have an Instagram page. Follow our Instagram page. Every day we post comments, content there. Memes, grammar, Brazilian life, Brazilian food, okay? And also we offer you a free demo or a free trial class. If you wanna see how our classes are, we are giving you a free opportunity. Just click on the link in the description and schedule it. The classes are online and the private classes. Just click on the link and schedule it according to your availability. And I will finish here saying in Portuguese, obrigado, that means thank you. I hope see you again. Espero ver você novamente, tá? Obrigado, tchau, tchau.